This is a segment where we talk about Korean movies and decide if we want to watch it or not.
And we rely on ratings, critic reviews, viewer comments, anything except actually watching the movie. And we usually have Min-jae in the studio to do this, but he's absent this week, and we've got a special guest filling in. Ian Ha is in the studio. Hello, Ian.
Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourself to both me and Dabbit, but also our listeners out there?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ian. I have a tube channel called EonTalk and also a movie review blog site called EonTalk.com.
Oh, cool.
And
so you talk about movies on your channel?
Right. I make English subtitle trailers for Korean movies as well as movie reviews.
Oh, that's cool.
All for Korean movies, is it?
Right, yeah. All Korean movies.
Nice. Why did you get interested in doing that?
So last year I really wanted to start learning digital marketing. And so my supervisor from work said, if you really want to get into it, you should start your own content community.
Right.
Yeah. And so I was thinking about what I'm really interested in so that both myself and the audience would be able to enjoy.
Right.
And I came to the conclusion that Korean movies was a field that was not very exposed to in the international market. So yeah.
Right, but the interest is there.
Right.
Interest is definitely there.
Right.
So you are also born in Korea, but then you moved to the States early on, right?
Yes.
When you were you said 3?
Yeah, I moved to Anchorage, Alaska when I was 3.
How was living in America, and I guess how did you get exposed to Korean culture or Korean cinema? Did you have to look online back then?
Right.
I'm curious how your experience was.
Thank God for the internet.
Yeah, right?
I always had a very high interest in K-pop and just the Korean culture.
Yeah.
I didn't have the opportunity to come to Korea throughout the 15 years that I lived in the States.
Oh, wow. At all?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was very young, my grandma and my aunt would send HOT CDs and stuff over.
Yeah.
I would get into the K-pop and all that. But after I found some online communities and stuff, I really got into K-drama, K-movies. And once I moved back to Korea, the whole theater experience in Korea was very different from America.
Right.
So
the movie theaters.
Yeah.
Oh, really? What's it like in America that's different?
Well, the biggest difference I saw was that at least from where I was, it was first come first serve, so it wasn't reserved seatings.
Right.
Okay.
That was one of the biggest things, and also the theaters. They have very special screenings here, 4DX and ScreenX.
Sure.
Which. I'm not sure if America has it now, but
I think they do now, but definitely not back then. And there were theaters are always a little more old school
in the States. In the UK as
they
well,
look dated. You definitely sit in the seats and you're like, oh, this is musty. Of course, there are new theaters, but I think Korea's theater experience is really nice.
Everything's
definitely
new in Korea a lot of the time, isn't it? Yeah, it's great. Well, it's brilliant to have you here with us, Ian, and we're going to talk about a movie today. What have you brought in for us?
Today's movie is Kim Ji-young, born 1982. It was released yesterday, directed by Kim Do-young and starring Jung and Gong.
So this is from a famous book titled 82년생 Kim Ji-young as well, the Korean title of the movie, right? Okay, tell us a bit about it then. They're big stars in it for the leading male and female.
Right. Born in the spring of 1982, Ji-young is someone's daughter, wife, colleague, and mother. She feels as if she's trapped somewhere, though her husband and her daughter give her strength and support. Ji-young, however, begins speaking like a different individual. Her husband, Taeyeon, chooses to remain silent in case she may get hurt from it. It's a story that everyone knows, but nobody really knew.
Oh, that sounds deep and meaningful, doesn't it? So we've all watched the trailer for this, right? I love Gong and I love Chung Yoo-mi. It seems like a really kind of pained experience for Chung Yoo-mi's character, right? I kind of felt uncomfortable watching it.
Oh, I did too. I think that's the point of it.
Yeah.
But it seemed very tastefully done. I was immediately drawn in but it seems like this has already garnered a lot of attention, both domestically and internationally. Not only just because it's a book, but I think it touches upon a lot of different topics, right, as well.
Right.
Yeah, so how did it do on day one?
It garnered 138,000 ticket sales on day one.
Not bad.
And even on EonTalk Tube channel,
Yeah.
it's had the number one views the past month.
Oh.
And I had a poll that I had for about a week, and majority of the people said that they were anticipating this movie for the month of October.
Oh, wow. You do that with your subscribers and stuff?
Right, yeah, every month.
That's cool. Are they mainly like foreign people or some from Korea as well?
Mainly foreign, a lot of Southeast Asian community members, and a lot from the U.S. as well.
Oh, wow. And over half of them also said they were interested in this film.
Right.
Because I know about the buzz in Korea because my wife and her sister, they were talking just the other day about how much they want to see this film. My wife was born in 82, actually.
Oh, no way.
It's just like perfect for her.
Yeah.
But also her younger sister's got a baby, not a baby anymore, he's like 4 years old. And so they were saying this story really resonates with them because I didn't know too much about it from the book days, but then I looked into it and it just seems like a real mum struggle through life, you know, being married and a stay-at-home mum, which both my sister-in-law and my wife are. But I didn't know that internationally people are like looking forward to this as well.
I personally didn't know that this was based on a book either until like a lot of the people commented on the trailer saying that like it's actually a book and that like a lot of people are interested in it.
It's an adaptation of a book by the same title, but I heard the storyline might be a little bit slightly different. I was not familiar when I first watched the movie, but after researching it, I did remember some articles talking about this book being a quote-unquote feminist book, and that's why it was a hot topic. And I remember Irene from Red Velvet was speaking about it and saying that's the book that she was interested in, and then she got a lot of random heat from that. I didn't understand the heat, but she just said, this is a book that I'm enjoying right now. And then all of a sudden, all the male fans of hers apparently attacked her, saying, okay, I just unfanned you right now.
Yeah, and I think it wasn't like she was saying, read this book, everyone. I think someone asked her, what did you read recently?
Yeah, that's the funny thing.
And she just said this book. And it wasn't like she went mental about it or anything. And I don't know, from the storyline that I understand, it's not like proper pro-feminist on the cutting edge of that. It's just about how a woman's life is.
Yeah,
it's a bit odd, but there's that whole weird community, kind of like the dark web in Korea, right? Where there are some males who get together and are totally anti-feminist, right? And they kind of ganged up on her and some other people, right?
But the funny thing is, I believe Moon Jae-in even received a copy of the book. Yoo Jae-suk received a copy of the book as well. And they did not get any heat from it. If anything, they were applauded. They were like, oh, so open-minded, or, you know, and it was a double standard, obviously. It definitely wasn't fair, but I think it's definitely a sensitive topic in Korea as of now. I think there is a lot of stigma that needs to be broken about this kind of stuff with the whole extreme feminist movement, but what really, you know, going down to the core and seeing what it really comes down to as a human being, right?
Yeah.
Because this is just a human being's experience.
Sure, yeah. It's like kind of if you just take away the fact that it's a woman or a man, then it's just a human experience, and that's what's important here, right? Can you tell us a bit more about the book, Ian, who it was written by and when it came out?
The book was written by Cho Nam-ju. It was published in 2016, and in just a little more than 2 years, it sold 1 million copies.
Wow. That's massive.
Wow.
Translated and published in 17 countries, including the UK, China, France, and Japan. And actually became a bestseller in China, Japan, and Taiwan as well.
I heard the headlines in Japan that this really struck a chord with lots of people there. Not just women again, but men who are like interested to see that side of the story. You know, I think traditionally in Korea, men were a little bit, how do you say it, like mutuktukhae or dunhae to the fact that their wives go through this in their daily lives, and they didn't really see or really be curious about it, like in past generations. But I think now through books like this and other media, it's really important to see the struggles, because many people think, oh, you're raising a child, you're at home, that's easy.
Right.
I used to say that was my dream job, being a house father, like
Oh,
seriously,
and
before
then-
I had kids.
Yeah.
And I had kids, I was like, thank goodness I'm not there.
Not with them
Seriously.
24/7.
Yeah, and I
Could
was
drive
like-
you could drive anyone crazy.
Yeah, so I say to my wife all the time, you have got by far the hardest job. It's ridiculous in this society that you don't get paid to raise kids at home. That is
Right.
the biggest injustice, I feel.
So I did a little bit of research on the writer,
Uh-huh.
Jo Nam-ju, right? And she's actually a writer for a couple of TV programs, apparently.
Okay.
And she decided to venture into book writing. She knocked this book out in 2 months, apparently. It was, and she said it was just that organic and easy for her to write because she had already experienced so much, and it seemed more of like a personal essay, if anything.
This isn't a true story, is it? It's
No.
just based on
on her experiences.
and like her friends' experiences and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, but I mean, because it's so organic and it's so easy, but such a heated topic, I think a lot of people were able to, especially women, were able to relate to this book in general.
Yeah, because when I read like little synopsis of the book and the film as well, it just sounds almost word for word like my wife's story. Like, she's born in the 80s, attends university, gets a job, gets married, becomes a stay-at-home mother, has a baby kind of because of familial pressure and stuff like that, and then goes a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying my wife is proper crazy, but, you know, she sometimes
Careful
gets...
with your words.
she gets driven up the wall by the kids from time to time. And she really feels that she doesn't have much chonjegam, an actual identity anymore.
Right.
And her sister-in-law, they often talk about that a lot. And I'm sorry, but as a man, it's really hard to completely resonate with them. Things like this really do help, these kind of books.
Definitely. That's why it's been an international hit, translated in 17 different countries. And I think it makes it even more special because she did aim this story to be for every woman. The name Kim Ji-young, I think about 5 Kim Ji-youngs in Korea. My
Even
cousins
to
are
the
Kim
surname
Ji-young.
as well.
I have a friend, Kim Ji-young.
Wow.
It's just a very common name, and I think she intentionally did that.
It's just like Joe Bloggs kind of thing. That's what we say in the UK, or John Smith or something like that. What did you think of the trailer, Ian, when you watched it?
I actually had to watch it a couple times because like
you did the translations for this as well.
Right. Because I really wanted to understand what the meanings of the words were before I translated it.
Right.
Hopefully I did it justice, but
I'm so happy you took the time to do that. I hate it when subtitles don't get the context and they literally just translate
like
the
Google
word.
wait.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a very, just from the trailer itself, I felt that it was a very real movie. Like I can sense that it's going to draw in a lot of emotions and resonate with a lot of people. What I'm hoping for is that the male role is going to be a very prominent role as well. I'm not saying that like it should take like away from the female role, but
I think like from the synopsis I read of the film as well, it seems like Gong Yoo is not like this villain in it. It's not like men versus women. He's trying to do what he can to like support, and I think the child as well is trying to support mum. And that, I hope that's what I do and my children do with my wife. But it's still such a psychological struggle, it seems.
Right.
And men and women in terms of having children, it's such a different experience. Like we don't incubate them in our bodies and give birth and then breastfeed and all that. So it's a completely different situation. And I hope it does portray like Gong Yoo trying to be empathetic and that kind of thing, right? Tell us more about the cast and director, Ian.
So the main cast are Gong Yoo and Jung Yoo-mi. The two actually have past experience working on 2 films together, Togani, or in English, Silence.
Oh, and was she in that as well? Jung Yoo-mi?
Yeah, she was.
Was she the female lead character?
Right, yeah, she was the lead female.
That was such a disturbing film.
Yeah, that was another controversial one.
It was really good, right?
Yeah.
Uncovering things about like child abuse, right?
Right. And also Busaneng, or Train to Busan.
Oh, they were both in. They weren't like a couple in that one, though.
No. Jung Yoo-mi was the pregnant woman.
Right.
Yeah.
Who is the director here?
The movie was directed by Kim Do-young.
So this is her directorial debut?
I believe feature film debut. But she's received praise and awards for her past works. For her short film 자유연기, or The Monologue in English, She won the best film in a City of Sadness section at the 17th Mise en Scene Short Film Festival.
Oh, wow. So she's got a good track record,
Right,
at least
right.
in short films.
Okay.
And she used to be an actress herself, right?
An actress turned director.
Not like an A-lister that many people would know, though.
I don't really know a lot about her past works, but doing a little bit of research, I found that she did have acting roles in the past.
Okay.
But I'm kind of hopeful. It seems like she even got the blessing of the author, Cho Nam-ju, as well.
To do the film, right?
Yeah.
And this is almost guaranteed to be a big hit off the success of the book. So they must have trusted her for a reason, right? Kim Do-young.
But obviously, I think there definitely was some setback. Still, a lot of people who are very negative and not very understanding or empathetic towards these kind of things. Yeah, I heard there was even a Blue House petition to stop production. I mean, yeah, it's not...
Of the film.
Of the film!
Just because it features like a woman lead and is apparently a feminist film, right?
I don't know. It just seemed like a waste of time to write a whole Blue House petition for this.
Right.
Well, obviously it wasn't successful because we've made a movie.
I'm happy it wasn't successful.
Absolutely. Okie dokie. So we're going to look at some viewer reviews. You must bear in mind that as well, that there might be some efforts by netizens who haven't watched this to kind of undermine the movie, right? So just take that into account when we talk about the ratings later. Why don't we play some music? First up, IU's 나만 몰랐던 이야기.
Only I Didn't Know. And then we have Cheese with 모두의 순간.
Everyone's moment. We just heard IU's 나만 몰랐던 이야기, the English translation for that being Only I Didn't Know.
And then we had Cheese's 모두의 순간, Everyone's Moment. And we're talking about the movie 82년생 Kim Ji-young born 1982.
Lots of hype around it.
Right, so give us the ratings, Ian.
On Naver, it has a 9.62. On Tom, 6.4. And the critics rating is 7.0.
Okay, I know we did give a disclaimer about the ratings because a lot of the times when the topic of a movie is controversial or there's some buzz behind it, as you said, people will just write a review, a nasty review, and not even watch the movie and just give it an automatic 0 or something.
Yeah, that seems kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah, but the ratings here are not bad at all.
Right.
Haven't we said before that Dam is usually older generation?
Right.
And so I could imagine, I don't want to make sweeping generalizations, but I think it's safer to say that there are some in the male generation who are older.
Who might not have completely agreed with it. Maybe Naver was a little bit more, just cutting edge.
A few more youngsters. I mean, I think it's safe to say, traditionally speaking, the man would go out and work and woman would stay at home, and that was the gender roles.
But I mean, the important part is critics, though, right? 7.0, that's pretty high for critics.
Right.
Do you give ratings for films or just film reviews without numbers on your channel?
I do. I call it a ticket price value. So I would have to go watch it again. How much would I pay
if you had to watch it again?
Right,
for
that's
the first interesting
time.
Rate.
That's clever. How much I would pay to watch? Okay, because we always when we decide at the end, sometimes we're like, I want to watch it, but not at the theaters.
Right,
you know,
I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah. I
something you would watch on
that.
Netflix or
yeah.
Like that. Okay, so we're going to read some individual user comments now. We'll just take it in turns. So I'll go first with Jem. This film does not make fun of men, but discusses a woman's life. I'm not sure why people are taking it to a gender-related argument. Here, because if a film has a male lead character, would you say that's a masculine film or something?
No, that's why some people who are doing the whole petition thing, they were like, why not make a male version or something? And it's like...
I have lots of films where males are the lead.
there are plenty enough, you'll have your turn, but right now we're focusing on the lives of women and the struggles they go through.
It's not like we haven't had any male films, right? There's been so many. Okay.
Well, I'll read one from Jung. Thank you for making a film like this, and I'm thankful to all the Kim Ji-youngs in the world, and I love them. This is a must-watch, and you should recommend it to everyone.
It sounds like people are just resonating, There is a Kim Ji-young. I'm a Kim Ji-young. I'm watching it. I really hope, because I'm definitely going to see this with my wife, I think, maybe my wife will not take me and she'll just take her sister. So
You're like, I'm
not
sorry,
invited.
Peter, but this is...
But I hope it has some
Yeah.
kind of uplifting message or some positive
Right.
ending, because otherwise I fear it could do more damage than good.
Oh, I know what you mean.
This kind of a melancholy ending.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
kind of realistic. Well, I don't want to say realistic, because hopefully realistic, there's a happy ending to our family life. I'm worried about that, just a tad. Do you want to take the next one?
From Pechudosa, it's not a very realistic film.
Oh.
The fact that they chose such a beautiful protagonist is firstly totally unreal.
What's that trying to say?
That's it. Okay. I mean, I get where they're coming
Right,
from, but
right.
then at the same time, it's still a movie.
Right. They still need to bring in the money.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me that argument is almost like when saguks the people point out that their teeth are too white. I feel like in the end, we shouldn't be judging by the image unless it's like a very image specific kind of movie.
Sure, but I'm also worried that Pechudosa is assuming, like maybe I assumed when I was younger, you know, if you're a hot mom and a hot dad and you got this perfect family
Yeah.
life, you're not going to be depressed, you know,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But I
Right.
think even beautiful celebrities, some will feel like the protagonist of this book and
Right,
the film.
Right.
Like hopeless, helpless when they have a child and they're stuck at home. That
Right,
kind of
right. It goes a lot deeper than just exterior looks.
Absolutely, right.
Yeah, so...
Chongun says, this is a story anyone, regardless of their generation, can relate to. I wish Kim Ji-young to live her life as a Kim Ji-young born in 1982 rather than someone's wife and mother.
I
So
mean,
for themselves, yeah.
that's great because when I saw the trailer, I felt even a little bit attached to Kim Jong as well. I was like, oh, I feel like I could see some of myself emotionally through Kim Jong as well. And I'm hoping, it seems like other people already did feel that.
Is that a wedding ring I see on your finger? Ian?
No, it's with my girlfriend.
I see.
You can never know with the couple rings
Right.
and the...
Even as just a boyfriend, do you feel like you have a kind of different role when you're with your girlfriend, a different kind of personality when you're there?
I try not to divide our roles too much.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend is actually, she feels the same way. So like when we go out to eat, she
Yeah.
usually tries to pay half.
That's
or
great
if-
for you.
Right. Or if I pay for dinner, she'll pay for dessert or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, I see, yeah. How about you, Deborah? Even when you're with your parents, do you not feel like you have a kind of child role when you're with them? You can't be fully you. Do you feel there's a different you in different circumstances?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that. I mean, that doesn't mean that I definitely try to break down those walls, especially as I age. I try to talk to my parents on a more, adult to adult basis.
Yeah. And the thing I think that many women find is that they just automatically get pushed into that role. Like
Right.
mother, you
Yeah.
stay at home,
Yeah.
guy will just go out, and then it's just a given kind of thing.
It's definitely paralyzing, and it shuts a lot of doors that could open to better relationships, better understanding, more empathy. But a lot of times, because of those roles, we just automatically shut the door, being like, "Oh, they won't understand."
You can see that in the trailer as well. Everyone
yeah.
should definitely check that out.
JSK7 said a fantasy film without computer graphic.
Ooh, so that's a bit of a dig, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that one hurt.
Do you ever have these kind of comments, Ian, in your
I
film
try
reviews?
not to read the comments too much.
Yeah, right. That could be a smart thing to do sometimes. Yeah.
Right. Especially with like the reviews, like trailers.
Yeah.
It's usually about the trailers itself, so I don't really
course.
mind. But the reviews, there's a lot of people that oppose my views,
Okay.
but they aren't very respectful with my views.
They get
So-
kind of personal and stuff like that.
So I try to shy away from the comments.
Good thinking. Next comment.
From nickname, it does justice to the original book. I found the film more touching than the book. # all of our story.
Wow, that's saying a lot.
I heard that the author also watched the film and said some good, warm, glowing comments about it. Like, it
Yeah.
was nice to see it.
Right,
put
come
into-
to life, right?
Which is always a good sign, isn't it?
It's-
Because sometimes the authors hate the films.
Oh yeah. So many remakes that have been butchered.
Right.
From Empty, this comment, this is the first film I've ever fell asleep to.
Oh.
Really? I don't know. If it is kind of realistic. Sometimes those films are a bit slower paced.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a massive criticism. Anyone could fall asleep.
Yeah. Kim Ga-young said, it is a heartbreaking film because it's so real.
They're the ones that cut closest to the bone, aren't they? When it's just a real normal situation.
I guess we should have expected a more diverse reaction.
Right,
Granted, I thought it was going to be all good stuff because the ratings were a lot higher than I expected.
Yeah.
Granted, like the controversy and everything, but yeah, we got all sorts of comments. But let's see what the critics said.
Yep.
Reporter Im Soo-yeon from Cine 21, the most common Kim Ji-young until she can voice her own and not through others.
So it's just like she's an average just Joe Blogs or John Smith until getting her own voice.
Right.
I think it's maybe sending a good message out to society then in general, giving strength to women in that position and understanding, hopefully, to men. Reporter Chung Yong-yop from Cine 21 says, not as someone's daughter, wife, co-worker or mother, but standing as a woman.
Right.
That seems to be the ringing message here. And I don't know, can anyone really disagree with that message? Seems a bit ridiculous to oppose that. Standing as a woman, you can just put in there standing as a man as well, standing as a person.
Yeah. They're all labels in the end.
Just be yourself, be an individual. Ian, we're going to give you one song to make up your mind whether you want to watch this or not, okay? So you've got to take everything into account, and then we want to grill you afterwards.
Yeah, do you normally watch movies even if you know they're going to be horrible?
For the past year, I did.
Oh, you have?
But now I'm like picking.
Okay. Just wanted to know where you stand with that.
You're running out of time. Let's play some music.
We have 종현's 우린 봄이 오기 전에.
Before Our Spring. That was Chung-yeon with 우린 봄이 오기 전에, Before Our Spring.
Now we have to come up with a verdict whether we're going to watch 82년생 Kim Ji-young born 1982.
And as always, we need to clarify that the verdict has nothing to do with whether this is actually a good movie or not. We might not want to watch it, and it may be awesome. Ready to vote?
Yes. Okay, I'll go first. I'm going to say yes.
You're going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it. Peter?
I might watch it together with Dabbit if my wife doesn't let me come with her.
I might have to join you guys.
Yay! Wow, a full house. So, Ian, why are you going to say yes to watching this?
Taking it away from like the feminist topic that it has.
Yeah.
I really like real movies that like takes a look at the lives of people, like real
ordinary
people.
people.
Right.
Okay.
So I think that this movie will do a very good job at accomplishing that. So,
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I usually shy away from real movies. Like I like some kind of fantasy aspect or some kind of blockbuster kind of vibe to it. But for this one, it's really to try and understand more my wife and my sister-in-law because they were really excited about this. And the book's done so well, and I really want to watch it. And I'm a massive fan of Gong as well. I love him. So I'm going to watch it for those reasons.
It's such a simple subject, yet I feel so that there's so much depth, you know? There's so much depth to be explored. And if anything, I might actually read the book before I watch the movie. I'm very selective with books because I don't like reading that much. But when I read, I commit all the way through. But this is one where I feel like there could be a lot more depth in, you know, a whole novel instead of like a 2-hour movie.
Sure.
Right.
So yeah, definitely interested in the movie. Might watch it, might read the book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Both of those. I really hope it's a good film, you know, it's well made, because otherwise that's going to detract from the quality of like the book and the message and everything like that. How often do you actually go and watch films then, Ian? Because your channel's got a lot of trailers.
Yes.
So I'm assuming you watch a lot of trailers.
Yes.
I love watching trailers. Like, movies nowadays are getting a bit too long for me, so I'll just watch trailers all day long. But what about you in terms of watching films?
Usually 2 movies
A week?
a week, yes.
Wow.
Lately, like 1.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
What's your favorite recent Korean movie?
Recent?
Yeah. Or were they all bad?
Oh, no. Recent Parasite. Parasite was amazing.
Oh, right.
Okay. I still haven't got around to watching that. Have you seen
Really?
that, David?
I mean, I told you I fell asleep, but not because it was
Really?
boring.
Oh, my.
It was just it was one of those days, and
Your review was that person earlier. This is the
yeah,
first
no.
film.
But I woke up and I left because I want to rewatch it from
right,
the beginning because
Wow.
I hate missing out on details.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw it twice in theaters.
Really?
They had an
Oh my
English
gosh.
subtitled
See?
screening.
I saw
We
that,
have to watch it, Peter. We really do.
We will, because it might win the Oscar. Who knows?
Yeah,
right?
who
Fingers
knows?
crossed.
Right.
Ian, thanks so much for filling in for Minja. Have you had a good time?
It was I was nervous, but it was fun.
It's not that hard, right?
Right.
If anyone wants to check you out, it's EonTalk, spelled EON.
Yes, correct. EONTALK.
On the two
Okay.
reviews.
All right, fantastic. Hopefully we'll see you again in the future. Thanks for coming in, Ian.
Thank you for having me.